everybody. It's time for tea with Stacy. And I'm really excited about tea this time because I've done a little bit of reorganizing over here and I now have like a really comfy reading nook. It's kind of what I had wanted right here, but just hadn't figured out how to put it together till now. So I'm really happy about that. Also, I got one of my books that I was talking about tausha Tudor, so I'm excited about all that. But let's get started with the tea. So today I'm going to use Harney & Sons tea called Paris, and I think I've done Paris before with you guys, but let's read the ingredients. It's a black tea with vanilla flavor, black currant flavor, natural bergamot oil, caramel flavor, and it says other natural flavors. So, but these, you know, I don't need to actually steep these in a steeping pot because they actually come in these really pretty little tea bags, and I just wanted to show them to you. See how pretty they are? I'm a little further away from the camera today so you could get a better view of what's happening here, but so it's just gonna pop into my cup. And I don't use this teapot very often because it doesn't have a thing in it for loose leaf teas, and that's what I normally use is loose leaf teas. But I do love the copper teapot. It's very cute. Anyway, so there we go. And this smells really lovely, and I think it must have to do with the bergamot and the black currant. That's what makes it smell so pretty. And it's kind of got a little fruity flavor to it. So I don't add cream to that, but I think you could. It tastes like Paris, like you should have something in Paris. It's lovely. All right, guys. Also, I wanted to show you, and I will take pictures of these later because, like I said, I'm a little far from the camera. But these are my new cards that were designed by my lovely friend Honey Crunch. So I'm very happy with that, and I put the little stuff on the back. But I've got the little lady that she did of me with my headband. I don't have one today, but and my little lotion bars. Just so sweet. I love it. So let's get started with the Wind in the Willows book that has tausha Tudor has done all the illustrations for it. And I'll hold one up real as close to you as I can. You can see her work there. And then the wrap too of the book. So I have to tell you, The Wind in the Willows is probably my favorite book. Really, I just, you know, it was the first book that I read that had all these critters talking and had the critters in their little lives and had little coats and hats and things. And I just found it fascinating. And I didn't actually read this until I was older. But it was the first book that I read that had little critters talking like that. When I was little, I would, you know, dream up little scenarios about animals like raccoons and cats and all sorts of things. So it was really fun to find this book. This is a very old book. When was it done? I'm trying to remember. So it was written by Kenneth Grahame, and okay, when he first did this, it says 1966. I thought it was much earlier than that, so I'll have to do a little more research on that and let you know, but it's a cool little book. I enjoy it. And it's fun to have some of tausha Tudor's illustrations. I have a few more books coming about her gardens, and we'll visit about those another time. Today, we're going to talk about Calendula. Remember, we were going to talk about Calendula? And, you know, you can see I have my big stack of books. But today, I'm only going to look at a few of them because there's a lot of information, and it's all very similar on Calendula. So Calendula is of the marigold family, and it does amazing things, I feel. I use it in so many of my balms and lotions because it has such a great effect on skin. So there are a few things it does talk about internal, and I didn't really want to go too much on internal, but just to note, in all of these, it says that not to be taking calendula internally if you are pregnant. So I want to make sure that's for the internal stuff. But for skin, so this one, it talks about, okay, here we go. A calendula, or it's also called pot marigold, was native to the Canary Islands and the Mediterranean shores, but rapidly became a world favorite herb. It's a hardy annual with sturdy stems and full green leaves that are clearly veined and curved slightly. It blooms all summer with ruffle-edged flowers in golden yellow or orange, and they add a special kind of cheer to any garden. So this is one of the things that is an annual that I will plant. I usually just plant perennials, but I can go ahead and plant these annuals because they're very useful. It says it's useful for heart health and inflammations of the digestive tract, lymph glands, and other things. We won't go over all of them because that's not really what we do here. We talk about skin. So 2 tea bags of marigold in 1 cup of water makes a potent, pure skin wash. Apply the tea with cotton balls to the skin eruptions, even measles and chickenpox, to dry and heal them. It's known as first aid remedy for cuts and sores, and in English herb shops, it's sold as a wash for skin infections. So that's something I found with calendula. It's very helpful for wounds and sores and skin health. And then in this book, The Way of Herbs, this one has actually a very short explanation, but I thought it would be really good to read. And so again, it's the common name is Calendula marigold, and the part you use are the flower heads. That's also really good to know. Everyone should know that. And the biochemical constituents are essential oil containing carotenoids, saponin, resin, and bitter principle. Okay, so it's used as an oil or salve for bruises and injuries, burns, earaches, shingles, eruptive skin diseases. I have a friend that I make stuff for that she uses for her skin, and she has shingle issues sometimes. Calendula is used in oil, in a salve, or as a poultice, will effectively treat burns, stop bleeding, soothe pain of injuries and irritation, and promote the healing of wounds, burns, and tissues. An infusion taken internally for fevers, ulcers, menstrual cramps, eruptive skin diseases such as measles. So again, that's the internal, and it says calendula should not be taken internally during pregnancy. So I want to make sure that is clear. And then the Earthwise Herbal book, volume 1. This one has so much, but I'm not going to read all of it, of course. Again, it is, I'll read the official stuff. Calendula is a member of the composite family native to Europe, but widely grown for its beautiful golden orange flowers, and it really is so pretty. And occasionally naturalized elsewhere in mild climate, calendula blooms throughout the calends of the year, which was written by Gerard in 1633. Also entitling it to the title Herbal Sunshine. Calendula contains flavonoids, polysaccharides, bitters, resins, and minerals, including iodine, which is so interesting. So this goes on to really get super deep into all the internal stuff, but here, let's read this part. Calendula is most famous as a wound remedy. It can be used to treat a minor scratch or serious laceration. It prevents the appearance of pus and inflammation, encouraging the body to heal the tissues at its own pace, which is good. However, if pus has formed, it keeps the inflammation from spreading, lessens the pain, slowly resolves the pus, and moves the debris away through the adjacent lymphatics. It is often used as a gentle application on sunburn, burns, sores, ulcers, insect bites, bruises, and other topical injuries, but it has a specific affinity for swollen, hot, painful, pus-filled tissue, especially where there is no vent. It is particularly effective on cat scratches because it is salty. Calendula can be considered an emollient. It keeps wounds from hardening and forming scar tissue, yet it can be also used for hard-to-cure wounds. Drainage from the wounds. It goes on for a pretty long time about all of that, and I don't want to get, super into it, but let's go to this is the thing here in this one, and I think it's super useful for diaper rash. And I'm going to be having a balm soon that is specifically for diaper rash. It's for lacerations, abrasions, burns, stings, bruises, blisters, chickenpox, measles, frostbite, acne with redness, tenderness, swelling, external, neuralgia, and it prevents and lessens scar. So it's really a lovely thing. So I use it in almost everything. I have calendula in plantain in almost everything. Okay, the last book. Let's go to the last book of herbal remedies. And so, okay, calendula here usually grows 12 to 24 inches tall with branched, sprawling, or erect stems. The leaves are oblong and lance-like. So here is a picture of it right there. Oops. You can see the orange right there. They're very orange, orangey flowers. So it's to treat skin infections, including ringworm, athlete's foot, thrush, diaper rash, cradle cap. Calendula is a tonic antifungal, weaker than many. So this one, she says she prefers to use a stronger antifungal for some things. Anyway, but it soothes muscle spasms. Blah, blah. What does it help my tongue, I wonder? It can prevent spasms. And so it's just fabulous. It's a fabulous little plant. Again, in this one, the caution is not to be used if you are pregnant internally. And of course, I don't really talk about internally, just about the skin. So that was really interesting. I haven't grown, I've grown a lot of marigold, but I haven't grown calendula in particular. I purchase organic calendula flowers, and that's what I use in my products. But this year I'm putting in seed, and I'm hoping that I'll have a really good batch of that. So that'll be exciting. And I'm making some progress out in the garden. I just managed to get the corn bed finished and planted, so I'm really happy about that. We still don't have progress going on in the studio as of yet. Hopefully we'll be working on that pretty soon. We'll see. We're still waiting on my friend to heal up from his car accident. So, and I think he's doing better, so that's good. There's some progress there. And that's just about all the news here at Stacy's Art Studio and Gardens for now. Soon I'll be having a video of the, I hope, of the desert cottage garden for you guys to see. The roses are blooming like just crazy. It's so beautiful. So anyway, thank you so much for stopping in for Stacy's tea with me, having tea with me. And next week, I would like to talk about rosemary, because rosemary has some really amazing traditional benefits, and I use that in some of my products as well that I like to make. So let's do that. I think that would be fun. All right, guys, go have yourself a nice cup of tea. Be gentle with yourself, because there's only one you.